Hello, my name is Minecraft Phenom 08, and this is episode 39 of my 1 Billion Iron Ingot challenge in Minecraft 1.16. In today's episode, I am going to build another iron ore processing system, and that is going to be here at my main base at this new building that I have built between episodes. So let's get started. So the first thing is, let's take a look at my iron ore. Right now I have 98 million iron ore laying around, and that means I need to do a better job of actually getting this stuff processed, because obviously that's a lot of iron ore just laying around. As of right now, I do have 789 million iron ingots, so I am getting pretty close to that 1 billion mark. But today's system should help get there just a little bit quicker. So let's get started with that. I am going to be using the mod thermal expansion, or the thermal series, to get this done today. And we are going to be using Cinnabar and the pulverizer along with induction smelters. So first off, I'm going to go down to the basement here, and I'm going to set up my pulverizers. So let's go ahead and set those up real fast. And I do want to set them up sideways because I am going to need the top and the sides for input and output. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let's put these down. And I'm not sure how many I need for each row, but I am going to do 2 rows for right now. In the future, I might expand this, but for right now, I think 2 rows will do all right. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take these pulverizers and we are going to make them pulverize cinnabar ore once I get them all placed down. So let's go ahead and get that last one right here. And then what I want to do now is let's get rid of those pulverizers and let's grab a red print. And what we're going to do next is actually configure the IO for these guys. So let's start down here, and what we can do on the left side is we can do the, let's do the output on the left side, and then let's do the input on the top side here. And that should be good. Let's do auto output enabled. And right now we're not going to have any augments, so let's go ahead and clear that out, and then let's go ahead and copy that, and then copy that to these guys right here. And what I'm going to do with these ones is that let's go ahead and copy it over. However, what I'm going to do is instead of this side being the output, we'll have this side be the output. Let's go ahead and reset that. And now let's go ahead and do these. So that should work all right. So the next thing is let's go ahead and build a system to actually get the cinnabar into the cinnabar ore rather into the pulverizers. So I have my ME system available right here. So let's go ahead and set up a system real fast to export that to some sort of inventory. And I think I'm going to use a modular storage unit for this. So let's grab one of those real fast. So modular storage, we'll put that, say, right. Let's do that right here. And then I actually need a module for that. So let's grab one of those. And there we go. And let's throw this in here and make sure we lock it up. And now we need to set up an export bus to actually export cinnabar ore into here. So let's go ahead and do that now. And we want to do cinnabar ore, and we do want to throw acceleration cards in here to speed this up. Now let's just hook up this export bus to this right here. So we should be getting some, excuse me, I got some hair on my mouse apparently. We should be getting some cinnabar ore in here, and that actually happened a little bit quicker than I anticipated. Let's go ahead and hook these up to this item pipe right here. And my cat's going insane for no apparent reason now. Not super sure why. So let's just go ahead and get these item pipes set up, and I did not mean to do that. Ethan, you're okay. So let's grab these back, and let's do this right now. And we can just go ahead and hook this up right here. So let's grab the pipe wrench here. Let's set this to be output. And let's go ahead and throw in an ultimate pipe upgrade into here to speed that along. Now these pulverizers should start going now. What I want to do now is I want to upgrade these machines because, yeah, they won't be very quick unless I do so. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a resonant integral component to each one, and then 3 of the flux linkage amplifiers. And I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and once I have that done, I will be right back. So I have all of the pulverizers configured and upgraded. I did turn their sound off because they were getting a little noisy. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to actually get the items out of the pulverizers, and there are two different outputs that we are getting from the cinnabar ore here. First off, the cinnabar, which is what we want, and then the gravel, which is just kind of a byproduct. What I'm going to use to get the items out is Ultimate Logistical Transporter, and that is just so that I don't have to manually use a wrench to tell these to automatically output into the piping there. So that's why I'm using this over the item pipes here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to grab a stack of each, or a partial stack of each of these anyways. I'm going to grab my Supreme Black Hole units. I'm going to place them down temporarily over here. We're going to do cinnabar for one of these guys, and then we are going to do gravel for the other one. And then let's pick these back up. And actually, I want to get rid of that little cinnabar there. And then, as well as this one gravel here. So let's see, this should be the cinnabar. So let's go ahead and place that down. And actually, it's best if we place it over here because I do need to put a storage bus on it, at least how I'm going to plan to do this. And then the gravel just can kind of be anywhere. Let's go ahead and put it down here. And now let's grab my pipe wrench here. Let's go ahead and disconnect that, because we do not want that hooked up. And the items should at some point start to flow out into their where they need to go. And actually, let's go ahead and disconnect these. I'm actually not sure why the items are not flowing just yet. So let's manually grab a little bit more here and throw them in here. Okay, so why are we not getting anything in here? Not super sure why that's the case. Shoot. So not sure why that's not working just yet. It should be, because these machines can automatically output to these ultimate logistical transporters. And not to mention that it should allow me to throw the cinnabar in here manually. Oh, it did. I don't know why that was being finicky before. Okay, so this cinnabar is not going in. It's in now. Okay, so why am I not getting any action here? So, you know what? Let me do a little troubleshooting off camera. And once I have this figured out, I will be right back. So it appears I was wrong. I actually do need to use my configurator here to wrench these pipes or ultimate logistical transporters to be outputs. And now I've done that with all of the blocks. And as you can see, the items are moving to where they need to go. So let's go ahead and set up a storage bus over here. So let's grab a storage bus, which I have right here, and just plop this thing down. I do want to tell this to store only cinnabar. We are going to give this a negative priority because all of the cinnabar that is stored in here should come from this system right here. So let's go ahead and hook this up to the ME system now. And we can do that pretty simply by just running this up like so. So this system should make cinnabar faster than I'm going to use upstairs. So that's why I'm not worried about having all the cinnabar go to this black hole unit and then go into the ME system itself. So let's go ahead and, oh, that was the wrong side, and reset that. And let's move upstairs to the next part of the system here. So let's take a look at the actual recipe I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be using the Induction Smelter from the Mod Thermal series, or from the Mod Thermal expansion, which is of the Thermal series. So let's take a look at the recipe here. And I accidentally clicked out of that. But anyways, we will be processing iron ore with the Induction Smelter, which actually was the first thing here. So right here, the recipe only shows 1 iron ingot, 1 nickel ingot, or 20% chance of nickel ingot, and 20% chance of rich slag. However, there is a catalyst that we can use, and let's go ahead and click on the optional catalysts here. And we will be using the cinnabar, which gives us a primary modifier of 3.0. So if I'm not mistaken, that should allow each process to actually make 3 iron ingots. And then I will also get more nickel ingots and rich slag as well. I'm not super concerned about the rich slag, but it is something I might use in the future in this building as well, because it is also a pretty good modifier itself in the Induction Smelter. So let's go ahead and start setting up some induction smelters in this area right here. So what we're going to do is kind of the same as we did in the floor below. We're just going to set up a bunch of induction smelters here, and then we will go from there. Nope. Let's set up one more, and then let's do this other row as well. As you'll notice, the energy conduits underneath these machines don't have energy just yet, but I will take care of that in just a quick second here. So there we go. We got all of these done. So let's go ahead and knock out one block, and I actually want to do a block over here. I guess it doesn't super matter as long as it is touching both of the conduits. I'm going to place down a quantum entangle looper, and this is a block I've used maybe a couple episodes ago. And so what we're going to do is we are going to set this up to be hooked up to the power frequency. We are going to set it, and then let's go ahead to the power here and set it up to be output on all sides and automatically eject. That should give power to those conduits, and let's take a look to make sure that they are, and they are. As you can see, there is energy in the conduits. Before so there was not. So there we go. Should have energy to all of the induction smelters. So that is cool. Let's go ahead and grab my red print again because I'm going to need this to actually configure these machines. What I'm going to do is input, let's say on the, let's do inputs on the top and then outputs to the middle, kind of like what we did before. We do need to set up the auto output enabled, and let's go ahead and clear this by shift right clicking away and then right clicking on this block to copy it. Now I can just copy those settings to these induction smelters, and then we will be good to go. So once again, let's copy it here, and then we'll have to change the sightedness right here, and then we can copy this to these guys right here. There we go. So once again, I'm going to be using the pipes from the item pipes from the mod pipes to do the inputs anyways. I might use them for the outputs as well. I'm not so, actually I probably won't, to be honest. So let's go ahead and hook these up. I don't think I super need the throughput that these pipes give versus the ultimate logistical transporters for the middle, and it's actually a little bit nicer to have two different item pipes because they don't want to connect with each other. So now that we have all of the item pipes set up, let's go ahead and set up an export mechanism for the Cinnabar. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to grab a modular storage unit. I could use just a chest here, but I do like these a little bit more because I can put things on top of them and whatnot and still be able to open the chest, which you can't with chests, obviously. So let's go ahead and set this up, say, let's do it right here. And we do need to put this in. We do need to lock it up. And now we need to export. And actually, I'm going to need two of these. Completely forgot about that. So one of them is going to be for the Cinnabar. So let's go ahead and tell this one to be the Cinnabar one. And let's hook it up to the MA network. And then the other one is going to be the iron ore. So there we go. And let's actually rotate this around. With my crescent hammer. I should be able to rotate it with my crescent hammer. And then I will need another one of these modular storage units here. So let's grab that. And we do need to lock that before it will become active. And now we can throw this on here. And this will be the iron ore. So let's go ahead and throw the iron ore in here. Let's go. I didn't mean to do Cinnabar ore. I meant to do Cinnabar. So let's go ahead and X that out. Let's tell it to actually do the right thing this time. Let's actually clear my inventory just a little bit. And I do need to grab another tier 1 storage module. That is one nice thing about these modular storage units. I put the wrong thing in here. So what I can do is just simply swap it out. And to be honest, I have so much Cinnabar ore that I'm just probably going to throw this away. Even though it's 100 stacks of Cinnabar ore. I don't care. So I should have iron ore here, should have Cinnabar here. Now what I can do is I can go ahead and tell these to export like that. And then I do need to set up the additional speed upgrades here, which I have right here, and get these things going for real. And these should, cool. It does look like they are accepting both of those items. So yeah, they're kind of making a mess actually. So what I'm going to do is, let's go ahead and shut this down for right now. Let's do on when powered for right now. And what I'm going to do is I do need to go ahead and upgrade these with the resonant integral components as well as the flux linkage amplifiers, just basically to make these a lot faster. And I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and once I have all of these upgraded, I will be right back. So it looks like the machines are running and I do have them all upgraded. However, I did forget to connect this entire line of item pipes to this one over here, so I just simply need to do that real fast. And these machines should start at some point pretty soon. Should start. Why are they not starting? Why are we not getting items? Unless these are all out of items, and they are not. So I'm not really sure why that is going on. Oh, duh, it's because I turned them off. So let's go ahead and turn these to the ignored mode, and I probably shouldn't have done that, to be honest. Oh well, it doesn't super matter, I don't think. So now what I need to do is, hopefully you can still see, I do need to hook up the outputs here with this ultimate logistical transporter. So let's go ahead and do that. And actually it is kind of hard to see, especially when I need to set these all up to be outputs at some point. So what I need to do now is let's go ahead and grab all of the 3 different outputs that we're going to get, which are the iron ingots, the rich slag, and the nickel ore. And I do need to grab 3 black hole units. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Honestly, the advanced black hole units will be good enough for the nickel and the rich slag. However, I'm not so sure that we don't need a supreme black hole unit for the iron. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. And the supreme black hole unit does hold 2.1 billion items of any given type. So let's go ahead and grab these guys and the rich slag. So let's go ahead and grab these up, and then I'm going to go ahead and place them down. And I do want the iron ore hooked up to the ME system. The rest of it doesn't super matter, to be honest. So what I'm going to do actually first is let's go ahead and grab the configurator and let's do some configurating. Let's set these all to be outputs here. And it would be so much better if I hadn't actually started these machines. Okay, it looks like most of them are finishing up, so that is actually pretty nice. They should be filled with iron ingots, to be honest. If I had to guess, that's why they stopped. Yeah. And I did check between when I cut last time. They are making about 3 iron ingots per operation. Actually, it should be exactly 3 iron ingots per operation at this point. So that is good to see. So basically, I'm getting 3 iron ingots for each of the iron ore I'm processing here, which is exactly what I wanted to see. So let's go ahead and throw down the iron ingots one here, and I will need to use my wrench here to disconnect these. And as you can see, the operations have restarted. That's actually good to see. So let's go ahead and hook this up to a storage bus here. And I do want to set this to be a negative priority once again. And let's just hook it up to the ME system like so. I know that looks a little junky here, but that's okay. It all should be hooked up. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the rich slag as well as the nickel ingots. The rich slag is something that I might actually have use of for my ME system as well. So let's go ahead and throw this down. And I do want to disconnect these as well. Can I rotate this around? I'm not so sure if I can or not. I think the crescent hammer should. I can't. But what I can simply do is I can pick this back up and put it back down, oriented how I want it. That way I can actually see. And you can't see it very well, but you can see it. So the last one here is the nickel ingots. Might as well go ahead and put it beside the other ones. And grab my pipe wrench one more time and separate these guys. So like I said, let's go ahead and hook up a storage bus to this one. I may use the rich slag upstairs. I do have one more floor in this building, but I'm not going to set it up today. I could set up the rich slag to be exactly like this system right here, except instead of using cinnabar, it would use the rich slag. I would also not want as many of the induction smelters upstairs as I do have down here, because this system produces, I think it's 20% rich slag. However, with my Cinnabar, it's actually probably close to 50%, to be honest. So let's actually take a look at what the ratio is here. So auxiliary modifiers should be 3.0, so 20%. It should be approximately 60%. So I should be able to run about half as many induction smelters upstairs using rich slag to process iron ore. Another thing that I should mention is that I could easily expand this system right here to have many more induction smelters and many more pulverizers in the basement as well, so that I can just simply process more iron ore here. As we can see, I've already got about 14,000 iron ingots from this system, so that's not bad at all. And if we take a look at the rate, it does seem to be pretty good. It's definitely not anything comparable to my other systems, but still, this is more than I had before, obviously. So yeah, I am pretty happy with this, and I think this is a pretty good wrapping up point for today's episode. So in today's episode, I set up a system to pulverize cinnabar ore. I have a lot of this stuff from my void miners, and so I might as well make use of it. So I pulverize the cinnabar ore, I get cinnabar right here, and then that cinnabar is exported upstairs into these induction smelters along with iron ore to be processed into 3 iron ingots per iron ore. So that is a pretty good ratio of iron ingots to iron ore. As of right now, I have 790 million iron ingots, and that's actually up basically 1 million iron ingots from when I started this episode, which is kind of insane to think about. But anyways, that is good progress. So if you enjoyed today's episode, feel free to drop a like down below, and if you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Anyways, signing off, I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.